Okay, thank you, Dov. Thank you for joining the JRoots Day Global Day Testimony. We're delighted to be sharing voices of survivors from across the world together with our partners, and we're to see more of these sessions. You can follow JRoots Journeys on Facebook, on YouTube. We're delighted to be joined by the wonderful Dov Landau today, live from the old city of Jerusalem. Dov is the subject of a JRoots movie, L'chaim, the story of Dov Landau, which has been premiering on Facebook and YouTube, and had lots of people watching the story, and we're delighted to have Dov with us this morning to answer a few questions, to give us a few reflections on life before the war and life during the Shoah, and again an amazing life of heroism coming into the new state of Israel. So we're really delighted to have you this morning. Thank you very much for joining us, Dov. I want to start, if you can just tell us a little bit about your family, who's in your family, your parents, what they did, a little bit of what life was like at home. We're going to focus on a few different pieces, but to start with, tell us a little bit of what life was like at home and who was in the family.
Okay, so I can tell you, all of you, Shalom, good morning. Today is a very nice day. It's 75 years today that I've been survived, liberated by the American troops in Buchenwald. Exactly today, 75 years. I've been 16 and a half years old only. Now I can tell you that I'm born in Poland. My name is Dov Landau, and I'm close to 92 years old. Baruch Hashem, I went through 5 years, a very hard time. I used to be kept in 2 ghettos, 5 camps, 2 concentration camps. You can imagine, I've been a boy about 13 years old, was supposed to be employed already in a labor camp. Anyhow, I'm born to a father, mother, with another 3 brothers. I've been the oldest one in the home, you know. And
what were the names of your family, Dov? What were your parents' names, your siblings' names?
My parents' name was Abba. My Abba was Benjamin Landau. My mom was Shendel Hanne Landau, but she's born in another town. So in they married, you know, about 100 years ago already, in 1922, something like that. So I've got a good life at home. My mom used to treat me, and all the 4 boys have been treated very good, you know. But my father was also, you know, a chassid, very very holy. He used to study in the Bobov, you know, about 4 years by the Bobov Rebbe. But the Bobov Rebbe, if you know, he was murdered, you know, in 1941, together with his son, with the 3 grandsons.
Dov, the Bobov Hasidus, the Hasidut of Bobov was very important in your family. Tell us, you want to share with us one of the tunes that you used to sing at home that you sang as a kid?
I've been very close to the Bobov Rebbe, because he was invited to a wedding of his son of his sister in my town in Zesko in Poland. So he's supposed to be located in a home, you know, that he can stay about 2-3 days. My father left our home with the 4 sons, and my father with mommy, they went to live with the grandparents, and the Bobov Rebbe used to stay in my home together with his one of the people that he was watching him. And when he left our home, he gave me a bruche, you know. From that time, I've been 7 years old only. I've got a bruche from him with a coin on my hand, in my hand, before he left my home. I remember exactly how he was sitting on the bed of my father, you know, and he called me to get a bruche together with the other three brothers. Also, every boy has got a bruche with a coin on his arm, on his hand. And then later, about 2 years later, 9 years have been already. My father take me to another town, and to be together with him on the holiday of Shavuos. And over there, I've been also. I've got, you know, also a bruche, you know, with in this time, so that two times I've got, you know, a bruche from the Bogivar Rebbe. His name was the Kiddushat Zion, very holy man. And okay, so I can only tell you that my childish living in my home in Zesko in Poland was very good. I went to the Cheder together with the other 8, 10 boys, you know, and I've been also old, about 6, 7 years old, and then later I've been 10 years old, so I went in a Cheder that I supposed to daven already and to learn the Chumash Rashi, and up to I've got, you know, 13 years. It was my bar mitzvah was in 1941, so I've got, you know, my pray. I pray together with the other people, you know, in the synagogue, you know, Hasidim Stiebel, all the Hasidim over there. They knew me. My father was a Baltfili, a very nice Baltfili he was, and I was helping to sing with him together with my brother Naftuli.
So tell us, Dov, we know that we've spent a lot of time in traveling together in Poland with groups with JRoots. Give us a tune that you remember, just one of your songs from your childhood. Give people who are tuning in today a sense of what life was like with Dov Landau, the young boy, singing.
What I remember is what I told you before, that I went to the Cheder afternoon when beginning, and when I've been already 10 years, 12 years, I went together with the Polish boys, you know, to the school, and later, you know, when the German came in on September 1st of September 1939. It was very difficult to go to the school together with the Polish boys, you know. So I've been only studying in a cheder behind my house, you know. The next building was a Melamed, and I've got a good time, you know, in this period of time up to 1941, you know. When the German came in.
Tell us, Dov, when people watched your movie and saw that as the Germans came in 1939, everything changed. I want to take you forward a little bit in your story to your mother, because the day that you saw your mother for the last time. Will you tell us what that day was like? What happened the last time you saw her?
Yeah.
At home?
When up to 12 years old, I've seen. I've been together with my mother, with my father. You know, I've got a good living because my father has got a nice store, you know, with suits and women coats. We've got a lot of parnus enough, you know, for the home. But when the German came in 1940, 1942 already, it was the first time that that took about 1,000 people from the town together with my mom, with my brother Naftuli, the next brother, and they took all the 1,000 people, to the concentration camp in Auschwitz. And I haven't seen her anymore. It was on the 18th of June, 1942 already, and I left by myself only with my father. The other two boys, the brothers, have been sent by mom, to her parents out of the town before the action, before this before this happened. They've been sent to the parents of my mother to Bochnia, and so that I've been staying a lot of time. Been already employed by the Germans in a supper camp, and it took only about 1 year. I've been in the ghetto together with my father, only without a mom, without without my brothers, and from the ghetto I supposed
Dov, tell us. We saw in your story that you arrived in the ghetto of Bochnia. You were a young boy, just a teenager. I think people want to know, how does such a young boy, a kid, a child, manage and survive and hold himself together in those conditions? What was it that helped you in the ghetto?
When I've been in the ghetto later, what period of time you want to know about?
When you were in the ghetto in Bochnia, tell us something that helped you to survive as such a young child there.
I've been very upset because I was supposed to live only with my father and my grandparents, and it was not so easy because it was in the time that the ghetto have been living, about 6,500 people. I used to work also, and during the time, that I went out from my town, Jesko, to Bochnia. I was going out, been 15 years old, 14 years old, when I went out to work together with my father out of the ghetto. And I went out about 8 o'clock. I came back about 4 or 5 o'clock afternoon. It was very hard to live in this situation, in the ghetto in Bochnia. So that I couldn't understand today how I went through this time, 1 year in the ghetto of Bochnia until the Germans they give the, how you say, the akcja. We're supposed to go out from our homes and to stay in a Rappelplatz, and we have been selected, to right and to left. So one day in the 14th of August 1943, 14th of August, I've been taken again from the ghetto Bochnia, together with my father only, and we'll be taken to a labor camp, Shevnia. All the other people, all my family have been shot and burned in the ghetto in Bochnia. Even my two small brothers, my grandmas, with the old families, about 35 people. I heard later, what have been taken out from the bunkers, and they've been shot and burned in the ghetto. Yeah. So that I've been left only with my father from this time in a labor camp in Shebnia since August up to the 5th of November 1943. Over there I used to work.
Dov, at that point, I want to ask you, Dov, it was just you and your father, and we saw in the movie that the two of you together, the only ones left really, arrived in Auschwitz. And one of the questions that came in from some of the people watching is, what was it like? Can you describe that moment of arrival in Auschwitz and tell people, you together with your father, what happened just there at that moment of arrival?
Okay, so I said to you that on the 5th of November, we've been brought, together with 4,000 people to Auschwitz. And over there, it was a selection again, like before the other to get us. I've been selected together with my father to the right-hand side, and together with 952 people. And we've been taken straight to the place where the gas chambers have been. We didn't know what would be happening, if we'd be stay alive or we'd be murdered in the gas chambers. So that we've been lucky, I was very scared all the time. I didn't know what would be happening to me, but I was praying to God only that He should watch me and I can stay alive. This was my mind all the time, and I've been lucky that I've been taken, together with my father to the place to make a shower and to get the new clothes. What how they've been looking like, and we located over there during 1 month and more. Have been located over there in one of the barracks, number 10, and it was very bad, without water, without toilets, without showers. You have to live down over there in a barrack of 420 people together. It was very, very hard, very hard. We didn't know what will be with us until one day they asked about 200 people, survivors, not survivors, how you say, mitnadvim,
Volunteers.
Volunteers. There was taking about 200 volunteers from this barrack, and we have been brought to another camp, a labor camp here, Bishowitz. Over there, I used to work together with my father in a coal mines. 360
Can I just pause you? Dov, can I bring you back for one of the questions that has come in from some of the people asking about you when you did arrive in Auschwitz? How long did it take for you to find out what Auschwitz-Birkenau was? That it was a death camp. What was going on there to the rest of the people?
I arrived to Auschwitz, it was it was Shabbos night, Friday night. I've been very scared, very scared. We didn't knew that we came to Auschwitz. Before we came to Auschwitz, they told us that we are going to be brought now to another sanatorium, a better place. But they've been liars, The whole train has been taking all 4,000 people, from Shebnia to Auschwitz all day. And we arrived to Auschwitz. It was 9 o'clock Shabbos night. It was so hard that one of the greatest murders, Mengele, he kept our plane, our train, with the people. We went out from the wagons, from the train. We went down. We're supposed to leave our backlog, everything, the suitcases, not to take with you nothing, and to stay down. And Mengele was selecting, to right into the left. We didn't know what is going to be with us. I remember exactly. I mean, 15 in 3 months only, and he saw me. He hit me on my hand. He said to me, "You go to the right place, to the right." And my father is supposed to be taken to the left-hand side, but he went away. He was trying to stay down together with me on the right-hand place. So that we've been lucky both that we've been taken down from the 4,050 to 300 people. We have been picked out by Mengele, only 952, and the other 2,800 have been taken and from the side, from the left-hand side. We have been going together, and we have seen, the gas cameras, and we didn't know where we're going in. But we've been lucky that they take us into a barack, and then we have been supposed to take down our clothes, everything, and to go into another place and to get a shower. I've seen exactly how the other 2,800 people behind our block, in Auschwitz, and they've been taken, right to the gas camera. It was very, very hard to see this, to see this picture only. You can imagine, I've seen how they stay knocked and they're waiting, for to go into a shower, but it was not for them a shower. They take him in right to the gas camera. So that.
And tell me, Dov, you came from Auschwitz. You were being transferred to one of the sub camps, to a coal mine. That's right. Tell us what it was like for a teenage boy to all of a sudden be working for the Nazis inside a coal mine. Tell us what it was like inside.
I've been working over there 350 meters under the earth, with a Polish guy, a coal miner. He was 34 years. I've been only 15 and a half years when I started to work with him. And my father used to work a night shift. I was day shift, and a Sonderkommander with a guy, under the name, Capo was the name, Lieberman. And I walk out from the camp 2 kilometers every day. It was a camp with 2,000 people, we have been in the camp. And every day at 8 o'clock in the morning, I walk out until I got to the coal mines, to the elevators. And I went down together with all of them, down to work in the coal mines with the Polish coal miners. We have been able to work by ourselves. We have been only these scraps, It was a very hard work, to work all the day, on the knees with the leather places, all the day, on the knees with the shufla, to take down the coals and to put them on the how you say, masua, on a tashma. They're supposed to brought everything, to the was small wagons down there to put in the coal and to take him up, with the elevators to the railway station. Avodat Parech, very hard work.
Was there anyone who helped you? Or?
I've got only 250 grams bread to eat and a liter of soap. How you can work with this thing? But I've been lucky that the guy that I have been working with him, he brought me every day, a sandwich. He brought for himself, so his wife, he make me a sandwich every day. It was very good for me, because otherwise I couldn't be able to work so hard over there. I've been when a watchman from the Germans, they came in, he have seen me sitting, he hit me. One of the German watchmen, that they came to see if the people that are working together with the Polish coal miners. I've been hit every day, but the capo, my Lieberman, he told me that I'm a good boy, a young boy, that he shouldn't hit me. Okay, but I suffer. What can I do? And it took a year. After a year, my father was together with me, but he was sick, he got sick. If you know already what happened with my father, after 5 months, he went to the hospital and he was lying there until they took together about 200 sick people. And I was ready to go with him together, but the Germans, they take me down from the truck and they say, your father is going to brought now to the sanatorium. When he will be able to, he will be well, he will be more healthy, so he will come back and he will be able to work together again. I didn't believe him, so I say to him, you are not telling me the truth. He's going to be brought to the crematorium. Anyhow, my father came down from the truck and it was a few minutes of time, and he benched me. He put his hands on my head and he benched me, he prayed me. He said to me, Varecho Hashem Yishmerecho. And then he said to me, we are going to split each other. I don't know if I'll be able to see again, but I want you will survive this Gehenna. You will survive. You will be able to say, you will survive, he said to me. And I want you to stay a Jew, Don't forget to stay a Jew. So I knew everything, what he means with this, that I'm supposed to stay a boy like I've been treated in home, I've been educated as a young boy, a Jewish boy with it, and a real boy, So he said to me to stay a Jew, and I'm continue to be a Jew. My whole family, what I built up, after here in Israel, all of them, there's Shomer Shabbos together with me. And Baruch Hashem, I am happy, to stay in Israel now. And what it was after I've been continued to work over there until the day that the Russian came in to occupy Auschwitz. We went to the Dead March. I went through the 5 days with 4 nights, the Dead March with 4,500 people. Half of us, they die on the road. They've been shooted on the road. So I was already 16 and a half years when I arrived to Buchenwald after 5 days. And I've been I've been frozen because it was very cold, six minus. When I came to Buchenwald, I've been already 16 and a half years and only I've been weighing only 48 kilos, but I was very strong because thanks the guy, the guy that he gave me every day a sandwich. So I was still, healthy, and I've been able to survive and to continue to be treated in Buchenwald also. I don't know how it was, but only because I've been very educated at home, and I knew what my father told me. So my body was so strong. Chosen nafshi, if I say to you, what do you know, if you know what it is. And I continue to be in Buchenwald about 4 months until they've been liberated by the American troops today. Exactly today.
It's amazing, Dov, that you can be with us and speak to us about that day of liberation. I want to just push the story to something that you mentioned. You talked about being here now, sitting in the old city of Jerusalem in Israel. And just as we wrap up, the questions people saw in your movie, that you arrived in Israel pretty much straight into another war, into the War of Independence. And all of a sudden, Dov Landau, the Holocaust survivor, was Dov Landau, the soldier. Maybe tell us just for a moment or two what it was like to all of a sudden be a soldier fighting for Israel. How did that feel?
So you want me to start? I've been liberated by the American troops in Buchenwald.
No. רוצה על מלחמת העצמאות.
Huh?
על מלחמת העצמאות.
After being liberated in Buchenwald, so I came after about 2 months, you know. One of the chaplains of the American troops in this time, you know, was Rabbi Hashoah with Rabbi Marcus. They took the kids who were found in Buchenwald, and we have been moved we have been located in the buildings of the SS.
הוא רוצה על מלחמת העצמאות בארץ.
Okay, so and we have been brought to French in a place, you know, when we got a little bit more healthy and to be a mensch again. After that, we went into Israel. About 3 months after the war, we came to Israel. It was on the 14th of July 1945, the first boat, you know, after the war. In Israel, I've been also already 70 years old. I went in the Youth Aliyah together with the other boys. I was studying I was learning in the yeshivas, and later in the high school. I finished high school only in Israel. When I've been 17 years, so I finished this high school by 19 years, together with 70 boys and girls. All of them have been survivors from the Holocaust. And later I went to a kibbutz in Gush Etzion. Over there, I used to fight during the 6 months in 1948. I was very, very strong, and I was fighting against the Arabs 6 months in Gush Etzion. And over there, have been felt in this war, you know, about 240 people, and me with other 350 people have been taken to the prison on the day when Ben-Gurion rolled out of State of Israel in 1948. Exactly Friday, it was 14th of May, 4 of Chodesh Iyar, and the Arabs took me to the prison. I've been in prison about 11 months. After the prison from Jordan, I came back to Israel, and I was starting to work. I worked for the Elal about 8-9 years. I met a girlfriend also in Israel, and by 24 years, I married this girl, Shoshana. We were together with her and built up a family. Thanks God, you know, together a nice big family, you know. And I was very happy, and I am very lucky that I built up together with her a family like this, about over 90 people. And now I stay here on these days. I stay here with my son in the old city in Jerusalem. So I have to be also lucky that I was able to be with this son, with the granddaughter Edna. She is helping me, like, and she's treating me like a baby doll here in this home. And
Dov, I have to say that we're very lucky to have you, to understand that you've been blessed with, thank God, a family of more than 90 people. And as people have heard now, and by watching the movie, the Dov Landau movie, what type of strength it took from you, and miracles and faith for you to have survived, to be here, to do what you've been doing. So I'm sure that there are going to be many questions that are going to be coming in from people who are watching online, that will be feeding back to Dov. The idea of the Global Day of Testimony is that people should be able to engage with these gems, with survivors that we're so blessed to have, to listen to hear their stories. We're delighted to be sharing these stories with survivors all day from across the world. If you're in on Facebook, on YouTube, you can follow JRoots to see more of the interviews and sessions. But really a very big thank you to you, Dov, for spending the time this morning from Jerusalem to speak with us. And if you want to see more of Dov Landau, you can tune into you can check for the Dov Landau film, which is on the JRoots page. Thank you, Dov.
I thank you also, Jeff. I'm very happy to see you and to talk with you. Your smiley face is the same like it was before. We've been running a lot with the groups from all over the world. We've been together running in Poland, between the concentration camps. And today, the corona is a very, very hard, to stay enclosed in the homes. But thanks God that we have what we eat, and we are together, and we are happy, so that we are waiting until how you say, the corona will pass, and we will be able to live again together with all families, and we be able to see the kids and my grandchildren, grandchildren, and I hope to be on all the weddings when last 2 or 3 months I've been in the wedding of my grandchild, 24 years old, and I hope to be next years, also dying happy with the other grandchilds, that they will be able to marry and to see a lot of naches, and to be well and healthy like today, because this gives me a lot of power, a lot of mood to say again. I'm just thinking in the future to be the same like right now I'm talking with you. So Bezrat Hashem, thanks God. I feel
Amen. Dov, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who's watched.
I wish you the same. שיתגשמו כל משאלות לבנו לטובה. במהרה בימינו. Amen.
Amen. All right, Dov, thank you so much.